The stock market just had one of its worst days of the year. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because of what is on the horizon and what you could be doing today to set your future up for success. I'm going to be going over 3 reasons why the stock market dropped and what you can be doing to set yourself up for success. So what exactly happened? Well, the Dow dropped 1.2%. The Nasdaq, which is basically big tech companies, that dropped 2%, and the S&P 500, which is the 500 biggest companies in the United States, dropped by 1.6%. So what's the big deal? That's not that bad. It's a small pullback from the historical highs that we were setting every single day. But there's a lot of worry in the markets. And if you know anything about worry and anything about investing, Warren Buffett says you need to be greedy when others worry. And so that is why it is huge for us, because not only was there a pullback, not only are there fears of a recession, not only are the markets going down, but that's on a short-term horizon. I'm talking about a long-term horizon, and especially September. And September is going to be crucial for the markets because the Fed will now determine if they want to keep rates the same or lower them. And the 3 reasons that I'm about to go over will make that decision for them. So every single month, the government comes out and says, this is how many jobs were added or lost during the month. And on August 1st, Friday, that job report came out showing that we only added 73,000 jobs in July. Now, that might seem like a bunch, but in reality, for the United States, it's not. And not only was it less than what was expected, but they also came out and said, oh, by the way, May and June, that was also a lot less than what we originally said. And so people started getting worried. That's like getting grades from a teacher, having all A's, and all of a sudden it's a month later and they say, no, actually, you got C's. So it's not as good as what people thought. And so that makes people think, uh-oh, the economy is slowing down. Unemployment is going up. People are going to start struggling, not going to be able to borrow as much, all this kind of things. And that is the first reason why the markets went down, because people got nervous. People are getting scared that we could be headed to a slower economy. The second reason that the market went down is because there was also announced more tariffs and new tariffs to different countries, anywhere from 10 to 40%. If you don't know what a tariff is, it's basically a tax on other countries for importing their goods to the United States. That's about it. It's basically a tax, but the thing is that tax usually gets passed down to consumers. That gets passed down to the people buying those products. That can be like toys, clothes, any household item that's basically having to get imported from other countries. That now has a new tariff on it, anywhere from 10 to 40%. Meaning things will cost more. And if things cost more, businesses slow down, they start laying off more people, yada, yada, yada. It keeps going down until basically people don't have as much disposable income, don't have as much, jobs. They don't have anything like that, because the tariffs are affecting these companies and businesses, making it to where they have to pay less, they don't get to pay raises, they have to lay off people. It's just kind of a big chain reaction. And so new tariffs were announced, which is really not a bad thing, especially when you actually look at what is happening to the overall economy because of the tariffs and what our U.S. debt will look like because of those tariffs bringing in so much money. And the third reason is because now there's a bigger recession worry. People are worried that now we're heading into a recession because the economy is slowing down. You have more tariffs, so more companies are going to start laying off. You have unemployment rate going up because of layoffs. If this happens, the economy shrinks. People don't have as much disposable income, and companies have to slow down themselves because the economy is just, super stagnant and slow. But there is a golden horizon that is coming in September. This is what I believe. This is my opinion, but I believe that since the economy is slowing down, people start getting laid off, interest rates are still high, the Fed will have to make a decision to lower rates. What does lowering rates do? It makes borrowing cheaper to where businesses can now borrow, get more money, hire more people, really start amping up what they're doing as a company. And when that happens, usually they can make more money. Usually they can profit more from that, which then the stock market picks up. So this big pullback that we're seeing, this big pullback in cryptos and stocks and all that kind of stuff, I think it's a golden opportunity. Personally, it's my opinion that now is a good time to actually get in and buy. We just seen Amazon drop 10% in a single day. 10% on a single day on August 1st. We see all these cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these other XRP, they're all pulling back 10 to 20% over the last few days because people are worried. When people are worried, that is when you can be greedy. That is when you can get in the market and buy at a discount. Would you rather buy something knowing that it costs 120% more than what it did yesterday? Or would you rather buy something knowing that it is worth 70% of what you're doing? Last time I checked, not a lot of people are going into stores and looking at the tag and saying, dang it, I'm not buying it. It needs to be 120%. Or you're negotiating with someone at a car dealership or maybe at a garage sale or wherever, and you're saying, actually, you know what? I want to pay more because everyone else is wanting to pay more. No, in my opinion, the best time to buy is when everything is low. And that's what Warren Buffett, the best investor we've probably ever seen in history, says. You buy when others are fearful. So, if interest rates do get lower, that means other people can borrow. Citizens can now borrow more money to go buy cars, buy their houses, get all this stuff. It starts getting this traction going, and it fuels the economy because now businesses can do more. It's all a massive, massive economic viewpoint, and that is why this pullback happening. If we have a pullback, you buy at a discount, all of a sudden rates get lowered and it skyrockets, that is absolutely the best buy. That is the best case scenario so that you're getting the biggest return for yourself. So this is also what I have right here in my notes. It says the next few months, this is what we need to be watching. Over the next few months, we need to watch the next jobs report, obviously. We want to see, are companies still hiring? Is it still super slow? Is unemployment going up? Inflation, are prices still going up? Because it actually slightly ticked higher in July than what was expected. The tariff news, will they stay or will they go? Every time it's, hey, here's a new tariff. This is going to get active. This is going to start on this date, and then it gets pushed back 90 days. Or these countries are agreeing to the tariffs, and it starts. Like, there's so much news with these tariffs going back and forth and back and forth, and it affects all these companies that are working in those different countries because they have products that are getting built from those countries and getting sent over. Meaning that if tariffs go up, they either have to raise prices on their products and force it to the consumers, or maybe they have to lower their own costs on things. It's a big thing, and these companies have to make the decision for themselves based on what the tariffs are doing. And then also, will the Fed cut rates? If the Fed cuts rates, I believe some of it could already be factored in. Some of it could already be priced into the market. But now that we're actually down, I think that we will recover and then go up another leg, whether it be crypto, stocks, S&P, NAS, it does not matter. I think that the market will go up because we have this pullback. You have a buying opportunity. All of a sudden, inflation goes down. Job report is fine. And then interest rates get cut. I think real estate, markets, stock market, crypto, I think everything could just absolutely take off. And so that's just my opinion. But that's why the stock market took a hit on August 1st on a Friday of all days when it's supposed to be payday. Everyone's supposed to be happy. Instead, we have a big red candle on all these different things. Everyone's stocks are down, their crypto's down. But in reality, it was a good time to actually buy, get in the market, and just kind of dollar cost average. Because knowing that we were at all-time highs, eventually that will pop back and bounce back. And then you'll make even more money. So that's a good thing. Guys, I want to know down below, are you worried about the markets? And if you are, what are you doing? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you holding off? What are you doing in the markets when you see this type of news? Are you actually worried that we're going to a recession? Or do you think we're going to be fine? Do you think we're going to be absolutely fine and you can invest now and then make even more in the long run? I want to know. But until next time, remember, you can do all things through him that give you strength. Peace.